It's your friendly neighborhood laser lady, and I'm sure you're wondering, can you actually make money with the laser business? And I'm here to tell you, yep. Oh, I guess you wanted more information than that. I understand. Of course, if we are set up for success, success will surely follow. But how do we set up for it? There are a lot of risks and realities to having your own laser business that you might not be aware of. So let's dive into it. The reality of having a laser business. Now, if you think I'm so excited for my new job title, it's going to be business owner. Well, buddy, I'm so sorry, but you're wrong. That's just one title and it doesn't even cover all of it. Your job titles will actually have to include a list of the following: accountant, tax expert, marketing manager, web designer, photographer, copywriter, promoter, scheduler, social media manager, designer, production manager, creator, fire putter outer, and a whole bunch more. Sure, you might be able to outsource some of that, but that's not really the point I'm trying to make. It is that you are going to now have so much responsibility for the success of your business. I want you to realistically think, can you handle that? So let's go into imagination land. You're jumping 1 year in the future. Close your eyes with me and see if this is a good fit for you. Congratulations on having a successful laser business for 1 year. Every day you wake up to orders that need to be fulfilled. You get that laser fired on, take a sip of your morning tea, and get to work. The orders are done now, so maybe you need to get a kid from school or pick up a few groceries. Great. Now you need to make new designs for that summer show coming up. Do you have your event license in order? You can do that online after you follow up with that post office on the missing package for the lady who won't stop emailing you in all caps. If you have time, maybe you could take a few pictures of that new product you perfected last week. People on social media seem excited about it, which reminds you that you haven't posted on socials for 3 days and should get on that. You hear a cha-ching, which means you made another sale to add to your never-ending to-do list for tomorrow. Your weekends will be filled with selling events, and your weekdays will be filled with getting ready for them. There is no clocking out. If you fail, the business fails. But what if you don't fail? Is the risk of a laser business even worth it? Well, we know lasers are super expensive. You know it, I know it. You can either buy a $10,000 laser with all the bells and whistles or a cute little baby $200 diode laser and still be able to make money with it. What you put into it, you are able to get out of it. Now, of course, I'm going to reference my favorite show in the whole wide world, and that is Kitchen Nightmares. Not just because I love Gordon Ramsay, but because business is business. It's a great case study into what makes some businesses fail that we can learn from. There is one trend I see again and again on the show, and that is business owners' unwillingness to fix a problem. Is it the bad customer service? The crappy ingredients? Is it because they have too much debt? Well, sometimes. It usually comes down to the one thing they are trying to make money with. Their food sucks. And thanks to our friend denial, they usually end up blaming their customers instead of looking within. Whether you make spaghetti or a laser product, they fail in the same way. If you're not making any money, your business is not going to work. As laser makers, we are in a unique position because we get to make our products. Not only is this great for quality control, but it maximizes profits. Here's an example. I make jewelry primarily with my laser, and if you calculate the cost of an item, it might be around like $2, and that's for the acrylic and the hooks, even the packaging. It's pretty inexpensive, and luckily I get to charge about 5-6 times that to my customers, which is great because that covers then all the overhead and my labor and the profits, of course. I used to have a retail store back in the day. This was in my nerdy days, and I'm still a nerd, let's be real. But I had a retail store where I sold things like pops and collectibles, figurines, board games, things like that. And to be quite real with you, a lot of the products that I sold, I was buying at about 70% of the retail cost. So if it was like a $20 figurine, The cost for me was about $14 or $15 a piece. I was only making $5 or $6 when they sold. It was really hard for my labor costs as well as my overhead for margins like that. And now that not only do I get to work out of my house, so overhead is lower, my profit margins are much higher. Let's say you make laser cut signs with funny little phrases on them, and after about $5 or $6 worth of wood and maybe a little bit of stain and a hook on the back, you can sell those for $35, $40. Of course, the profit margins are going to be higher because you are in control of the materials you use, and the effort you put in is where all that profit's coming from. How to know if your products will even sell? Let's face it, that's the real question here. If you're going to have a profitable laser business, that just means you have profitable laser products. I'm sure you've heard other people say when you are developing products, whether it is digital or physical or anything like that, it needs to be solving a problem. And I agree with that to an extent. Let me explain. Let's bring up jewelry again. I've been selling this since 2014, and I don't just make cute jewelry. I try to make bold, weird, and funny jewelry on purpose. But what problem is that even solving? Nobody really needs weird earrings. They're not out there having an existential crisis because they don't have enough jewelry, or do they? I don't know. When I market these online, or even at in-person shows, my main draw is 1, the jewelry is unique. And 2, if you wear this, you will become unique. So I market these towards bold people who want to stand out. Who are you planning to market your products to? If you know the who you are selling to, you can know what it is you can sell them. Say you want to market toward nurses. Now you can focus on badge tags, travel mugs, and signs with phrases that nurses relate to, or dog people, or veterans. You get it. Now, the best way to see if your item is going to sell is if you tried to sell it. Selling things online is a beast in and of itself. So let me tell you a little bit about my very first craft show ever. When I first got a laser, I was making the same thing everyone else usually does. Although this was 2014, so people didn't really know what a laser even was. I was invited to go to a Comic-Con with a friend and share her table. So I made some signs and coasters and things with nerdy little phrases from Doctor Who and Star Wars and things like that. And we shared a table. She had some sewing crafts, and then there were my things. And to be honest, and I felt so bad, my things were selling so well, I said thanks and didn't even finish out the weekend because I kind of felt bad for the person who invited me to share a table with, because I was kind of kicking her ass at sales. And what that taught me was this can work. That's when I really started focusing on putting things online and finding more Comic-Cons and craft shows for me to sell my wares at. Eventually, I whittled it down to just doing jewelry, and here we are. But a decade, a lot of things can happen. So if you're still trying to get some feedback from potential customers, take it to the people. If you're making those funny little kitchen signs, probably like a craft show at a high school or your church might be a good place to start. If you have nerdy stuff, there's Comic-Cons freaking all over the place. There is an event for you. Really, when you're coming up with products and whether or not they are successful products, it really is just like throwing a bunch of wet spaghetti at a wall. That's even me now. Luckily, now that I have a customer base, a little bit of a social media following, and of course an email list, which if you're not on that, do that first, if anything. I get to ask my customers, what do you think about these designs? Or here's some sketches I made, or what do you guys need for summer? Your customers will end up telling you what it is they want from you once they know what you're capable of. If you're still thinking about what product you should even maybe make for this business, I have a whole video for you I just made the other week with 100 product ideas for you. So check that out if you haven't. And if you want to learn more about what it's really like to have a laser business and how much money I made over the last 10 years, I give you those exact numbers in this video. So thanks for watching and happy crafting.